One Manathrall here. Welcome back to a vlog video. Now, this one's actually just pure vlog. It's going to be talking about my upcoming PC build um, and what's been going on with the channel. As you guys have noticed, there hasn't been very many releases, and it's all been RuneScape Quest Guide after RuneScape Quest Guide. There is a big reason for that, and for those of you who know, I'm in the middle of building a new PC. The only issue was I was building what is called a Franken computer, and that's where you take a bunch of the new parts, old parts, and stuff like that, and you try to mesh them together into one computer. It usually doesn't work out too well because if you want to build a computer, you kind of want to build around the motherboard. Also, if you don't want to do that, but you want to see what is compatible with your motherboard or with maybe your CPU, I personally have been using PCPartPicker.com. Very easy to follow, very easy to do, and it's really helpful. It can even give you different price comparisons. As you can see down here, there's a bunch of different price comparisons for different shops. And now, I decided what I was also going to do with this video is not only just tell you, hey, this is what's been going on and when this can be expected to be completed. I'm also going to show you the primary parts I'm getting. Some of the other parts, like an SD drive, yeah, uh, that's just to help, have Windows on that. This way the hard drive can be free for the games, that kind of stuff. But also, there's a big reason for this is because all the parts I finally need, and I'm basically going to be replacing all my parts, unfortunately, except for the power supply and hard drive. So everything else is being replaced. Um, This way I can actually go and do more games, more big variety, and then the only thing that's really going to be actually holding me back is the fact that where I live, I can currently only really have DSL internet. So what that does, it creates a little bit of the issue of maybe internet productivity with those type based games. Some of them only, not all. But this build will also enable me to play a game which Astral Dimensions, if you're watching this, had actually suggested that she would like to see, or he would like to see me play. And it is Osiris New Dawn. Now, I did send an email out to the developers, so he'll hear back probably, I would say, within the middle of the week if they're not overly busy. But if not, I'll probably still do some videos to start out with. If they don't want it monetized, no big deal. It looks like an awesome game. But if they allow it, of course, you don't want to do it. That's actually another thing I want to address after I go over the build. And okay, so as for the build goes now, well, actually, before the build, I want to talk about this week and when this will all be done. So this week, all the parts will finally be here and it will be getting built. So what this means is the computer guy I'm going to be going to, he does computer building on the side. So he has a primary job. So he is a really busy person, except, well, he's busy in general, but is willing to do this on, it'll be what, the 11th. So he's willing to do it on the 11th, assuming, nothing comes up, which is more than fine. So that's when we'll be doing this and getting this all put together. But what that means for this week, we're going to, I hate to say it, but there's going to be a lot of light content. I will try to go back up to 2 videos per day just for the, well, in general, but for this week. And I'll try to get some extra stuff recorded in advance for next weekend. So that is going to be a thing that I'm going to try to go back for 2 videos per day. Now, the only thing is, right now, my current graphics card is having a hard time supporting dual monitors, which it is very useful for me, especially with recording. So I do want to do that, but for this week, I might not do that. I might just stick with the one. This way, my frame rates can go back up because the graphics card I have right now is only a 720 GT. And it's not GeForce, it's not GTX, it's just GT. So it's very old. Um, but yeah, so that's the plan for this week. I'm going to try to go to 2 videos per day for this week. And then once the week is over, you'll see a huge graphical influx. You'll see more games being done. I might go back to Dark Souls again and actually finish that game or get close to finishing that game. Um, I will also go for stuff like Osiris New Dawn. And, I'll be doing more variety because even right now, my computer has a little bit of issues with some detail graphics on RuneScape, which is really not a good thing to have to admit. So, that is the plan for this week. So, there will be more new content, more variety. Again, it's not going to be more and more quest guides. Matter of fact, there'll probably be no quest guides for this week, actually. But now, as far as uh, the monetizing on my videos, I'm sure some of you might have noticed already, I've been doing more monetization than I was doing before. If this actually bothers anybody, please let me know. But since I don't really do like an outro video clip, I'm probably going to leave at least the skippable video at the very end. This way, there is that will stay as long as I'm able to do it. Um, I would like to keep them in the beginning too, and reason being is if you're not familiar with my channel, if you haven't seen my channel introduction video, um, this my channel is primarily set up around donating for charities. So even though I could make money off the channel, I can do this and that with the channel. It's primarily going to be about donations to charities, with one exception, and that will be occasionally updating my hardware and software for the channel, and that's it. Because I do have a full-time job, and it'll pay my bills, but going above and beyond for building specs is quite expensive, even if you do build it yourself. So some of that kind of expenditure would come out of that. However, not a whole lot. I will say that. The primary usage for the money made on the channel will be for charities. So that is the one thing I do want to make completely clear. Um, it's going to be for, your guys' entertainment. So I'd have to, of course, keep my stuff up to date. This way, I can make better videos. But otherwise, it is just going to be for charity. And down the road, whenever I start doing streams, um, if you guys have some sort of charity you would like to see donated to, I would gladly do it. Right now, I can't stream because my internet, like I said before, is DSL. It's not cable. So it's kind of a little too slow for streaming. That's the only reason why I don't do it. Otherwise, I would, because you can do so much more streaming than you can do with YouTube. Nothing against YouTube, it's just you can do more with streams. So, that's the information on the monetize. Like, if it is an issue, just let me know and I can think about it and see where we go. Because I was looking over my analytics for YouTube, and the range of what I was getting for my views. Now I realize I don't get a lot of views yet or ever. I don't know. Doesn't matter to me because it's just like as long as somebody out there enjoys it, as long as I enjoy doing it, I'm going to keep doing it. That's the main thing. And then whatever money I make would still go to charity. So you know, what harm can it do? Now, the other thing is when it does come time for donating the money to charity, it will not be donated right away, and there's actually a reason for that. The reason being for it, other than streams, and that's completely different. But for the money made on the channel, it would be something different because what I would be doing I would have a separate account just for this, and all the money made from this would go straight into that account, and it would be held in there for the full year. This way, when it comes time for W-2s and taxes, I can get my W-2 from YouTube, Google AdSense, and then if I owe anything for that, I can pay it out through there. This way, that's all taken care of, and it's not actually me basically paying to have a channel. And then, of course, if there is anything even removed from it, but then all that money that was made from that year would be spent into charities or occasionally a hardware update. That's going to be about it. Also, what this will. Okay, so now we're going to go into the building aspect. So, into the build aspect, this is what you're going to be able to expect to see in my computer. Well, you won't see it physically, but you'll see the performance and the graphics boost. And it's going to be a massive boost. Okay, so I'm going from an Intel 4, well, Intel 5, sorry, Intel 5, i5, quad core still, but it's an i5, like 4600. So this is almost double. It is significantly better. So you'll see a lot less latency when it comes to stuff like this. Um, so yeah, you're going to see a lot better graphics, performance because of the chipset. You're going to see an SD drive, so that's going to help out with loading Windows. This way, the primary hard drive does not have to deal with that. It just has to deal with loading the games. Uh, up up next is the motherboard that's going in, and this is what it is. If you can see this, I can zoom in a little bit here. That is what it is. It is a relatively big brand. Um, so as you can tell, this is pretty high end. Of course, it's not the top of the line, but it is up there pretty high. And if you do want to look into it, if you do want to see like all the specs to it, go right ahead. But this is what it's going to be for the motherboard. And finally, the graphics card, the 1080, 8 gigs. And that motherboard supports up to 64 gigabytes of RAM. Now, to start, I'm only going to have 16 gigs, but keep in mind that's double the amount of gigs I have right now. And Osiris New Dawn only requires 16 gigs anyway, so I'll still be good. And then this graphics card is going to be what's going in, which it is quite the beast. Now, honestly, if you ever do go to build, I would use PC Part Picker to start it out, and then maybe, see about the different comparisons. But what I'd also check to do to make sure, let's say you want to go through Newegg. It's a good one. Also, keep in mind a lot of these sites, I gotta zoom back out here. A lot of these sites will have sales. So you want to pay attention to the sales because guess what? You could be getting something really, really good for really, really cheap. I actually saved well over $100 on my new graphics card. So that's the whole reason why that even happened. But so that's what's all going into the computer. And the things this is going to enable me to do, like I said before, I'm going to be able to play better games, be able to play a lot different games, and then also what it's going to enable me to do is stuff like RuneScape right here. I will actually be able to do a actual dual screen play, and during a dual screen play, what I will be doing is I will have my main count set up on one, the other count set up on the other, and whichever one's doing the more intensive will go to the main screen because it's, well, a bigger display, and then that'll be that. Which, what that means as far as the channel goes, that means I can do gear giveaways. I'll be able to do gold giveaways, more bond giveaways, because essentially, right now, the giveaways I do actually do are kind of just twice a year right now. Because, well, sorry, twice a year right now, because I can't really play as much as I would need to in order to do more giveaways. So I will say there's a lot more giveaways to come now because of this, which means because like my main account, I don't really do much. I can't trade it with my hardcore account. So what I can do is if I'm going to Bandos, in the God Wars Dungeon Bandos boss, Grador, I can send it and have those prizes as a reward for you guys. So, if I get a bunch of Bandos chest plates, I can have them as a giveaway. A whole bunch of things like that. Now, it probably would never be, like Torva, Pernix, Noxious, Dragors, those kind of things. Um, I'm not very good at those kind of bosses yet. I should say yet. I mean, I haven't really tried them much. I tried Raxor just a little bit, but I've never actually really practiced at it, so that's one thing. But that is what to expect. You got to see a little bit of my build that's going to be happening. And what this all does mean is more games, more varieties. And then for this upcoming week here, I'm going to have back to 2 videos. It's just the recording might be a little bit different because I'm going to try to go back to one display. So it's not breaking down my OBS recording on the second display. But that's actually it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time. Oh, before I forget to, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And if you have any game recommendations, please feel free to do so. Star Trek Online will be coming back. Eventually, I'll be doing Neverwinter, maybe Elder Scrolls Online, a whole bunch of different stuff. Like I said, Osiris New Dawn, that is to come. And of course, I'm going to have my little random, fun games that I'll find on Steam and play for you guys. But I do take, viewer recommendations very serious. I know as the channel would get bigger, it might be a little bit more sporadic as far as game recommendations go. I might just like take most voted. I might like do like random stroll polls about like what people would want to see, that kind of thing. But otherwise, just keep that in mind. If there's something you want to see, I'm pretty sure my new build will be able to handle it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, later, guys.